Shalom. We're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander Junior Hanna. And what we teach is that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, according to the Bible, according to history, according to archaeology. You understand? And bear with me 1 second. Give me 1 second. All right, can everybody hear me? This in the chat. If you're on YouTube, if you can hear me, if you could type a 1. All right, in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So we're already running behind. Give me 1 second. What's going on with the internet? All right, no sign Christ. All right, so as I said last week, this week what we was gonna go into is we was gonna go into abortion, talking about the history of abortion and things about it. You understand? Being that we sitting here in the midst of this presidential race, you know what I mean? In the midst of doing all this voting, thinking that a vote is what's gonna make our lives better, thinking that a vote is what's gonna save black lives and save Hispanic lives. And so I wanted to bring this point out today because it was a vote that resulted in the murder of 450,000 black children every year.
Right.
Go ahead. We'll have some strong.
Mike's for eliminate.
Yeah, 12. You understand? So it was a vote that resulted and all these dead black babies that black women kill in these abortion clinics every year. You understand? So, I wanted to bring out this history and to further emphasize what we've been bringing out on why voting ain't gonna save black lives. It ain't gonna save black babies. You understand? The more we vote, the more we die in America. You understand? And we've been dying. It seemed like that's what black people and Hispanic people and Native Indian people do best in America is get murdered. You understand? Because we've been murdered. We've been the victim of genocide since the beginning of this country. You understand? And I'll go into some things about the history of America next week. You understand? Some deep, dark secrets of American history involving black people and Native Indians that you don't learn about in high school. You don't learn about this in middle school and the Christian church. You understand? The Christian church, he's supposed to be, the pastors, they supposed to be leading the flock. They supposed to be leading black people. You understand? But what this Christian church is doing, and what I'm going to show you today, is that all our Christian leaders, they sold us out to these politicians and to these mass murderers, man. You understand? And we're going to bring it out today. You understand? So what we're going to do until the brother gets back, I'm going to go ahead and read. What's it like? The brother just got back. I'm about to send you a link to an article. Okay. If you don't mind reading for me, Bob Kashai.
Come on, guys.
All right. You understand? So voting has never done anything good for America. Black people went out in droves on Tuesday. Was it Tuesday? Was Tuesday the election day?
That was the third time.
Was it Tuesday or yesterday? Salaki, I don't vote, so I could. Was it the day before yesterday, right?
Tuesday.
It was Tuesday. Yeah, I think election day always on Tuesday. You understand? Black people went out in droves and voted. A lot of black folks voted for Donald Trump. I was listen. Lil Wayne done sponsored Donald Trump.
Lil Pump.
Lil Pump.
Kind.
Good night. You understand? Who's next? Gucci Mane? You understand? These rappers, man. It does you no good looking up to a rapper for an idea of leading black people, man. These rappers and these musicians, black people give them too much power, man. You understand? We give them too much power and influence and our decisions on what we do with our lives. You understand? Lil Wayne endorsing Trump, Ice Cube endorsing Trump, Kanye West, we forget about it. You understand? But with all that being said, when abortion was legalized, how did it get legalized? It got legalized because we voted for it. We voted for the genocide of our own people, man.
Right.
You understand? And guess what? You think that changed with us putting Joe Biden in office or putting Trump in office? So like, I don't even know if they still voting. Has anybody become president yet?
Sir.
I've been paying attention to it. I actually thought Trump was gonna stomp Joe Biden, but I was shocked. I was actually surprised. You understand, to see that Joe Biden even stood a chance. I felt like, the hatred was just that strong for black people in America that everybody was gonna vote for Trump, even black people. You understand? But even still, you still got to have hatred for black people to vote for Joe Biden.
Right.
You understand? Joe Biden, the Democrats, they the ones that started the 3-strike law.
Right.
You understand? And they the ones who started the 3-strike law. And guess what? More black people went to prison behind that 3-strike law than any other law that ever been written. You understand? With one swoop, Bill Clinton locked up millions of black people for life. You understand? And imagine, I haven't even looked up the numbers, but imagine how many black people are in jail right now in Oregon. I think it's Oregon. Did you hear about that? Go ahead.
I seen that where they just legalized, they decriminalized all drugs in Oregon.
Cocaine. You understand? I know down here, I think in South Carolina, I believe it was 25 years for I think it was 5 years for every crack rock or something like that. They was handing out ridiculous numbers for crack, but wasn't handing out any kind of numbers for cocaine. Like cocaine was almost a misdemeanor. But if you had that crack, you might get a life sentence. You understand? They wrote these laws purposely for the destruction of black people. You understand? So whether you vote Democrat or Republican, if you vote, you are voting against black people.
Right.
You are voting against Hispanic people. You're voting against Native American people if you vote in America. Like, think about it, man. Like, we got kidnapped by America. You understand? These people kidnapped us. These people stole our land. These people killed us and buried us under these churches. You understand? But we're going to go out here and vote for them. You understand? Voting. Which one is the, which murderer talk the best? That's basically what we're voting for. Which murderer say the best things? You understand? Go ahead.
It's like, which rapist is going to do it more better?
Right. Which rapist is going to brush my hair while he doing it? You understand? Yeah, nice. He gonna talk nice to me while he raping me. You understand? Like, come on now. You understand? Give me 1 second. All right, so let me get you this link.
Come on, sir.
This is an article in Time magazine. You understand? You know I love bringing out them articles. Give me 1 second. All right, let me know when you got that.
Come on, sir. I just got it in.
All right. So we're gonna talk about this abortion thing because this is the numbers on abortion is ridiculous. You understand? And I haven't even looked, but I'm willing to bet you that since this crisis then kicked off, abortion then probably went up. You understand? Because you got a lot of black people that lost their jobs. You understand? A lot of black people right now, believe it or not, can't even afford their medication. You understand? For ailments, medication they've been taking for decades. It's a lot of black people can't even afford their medication. You understand? But yet, they went out here and voted. In the midst of a pandemic, they vote. They feel like they vote mattered. You understand? But I'm gonna show you what voting gets you. Voting get black people murdered. You understand? Read the title of this article when you got it out.
Come. Time magazine.
Who?
What? Time magazine.
See, a lot of people like to say we just come out here and we just talking. We just running our mouths. We just talk hatred. You understand? They try to say that what we saying is our own personal opinion. Where are we reading this from?
Time magazine.
This is Time magazine. If you don't want to if you don't want to look at me as an accredited source, then at least take Time magazine as an accredited source. What's the title of this article, Op?
What Margaret Sanger really said about the eugenics and race.
What who?
What Margaret Sanger really said about eugenics and race.
It says what Margaret Sanger really said about eugenics and race. You understand? For those of you who don't know who Margaret Sanger is, matter of fact, just read the article.
John McCon. It It was 100 years ago on October the 16th, 1916.
When?
It was 100 years ago on October the 16th, 1916.
So 100 years ago, read on.
That Margaret Sanger opened the first birth control clinic in the United States.
So Margaret Sanger is the person who opened the first birth control clinic in the United States of America. You understand? Everybody fighting for birth control. Birth control, birth control. You think birth control is just condoms and what's the other thing? I just lost the word. Birth control. They call it the birth control pill, right?
Right.
So when you think birth control, you think of having a child when you're ready, not getting pregnant before it's time to get pregnant. You understand? Like you try to teach the values of birth control to a 16-year-old. You know they out there having sex. At least tell them to wear a condom. You get what I'm saying? That's what we think in our mind when we think birth control. You understand? This woman opened a birth control clinic. But read on.
An advocate for women's reproductive rights.
Hold on. Read that again.
An advocate for women's reproductive rights.
An advocate. Pay close attention to what we bringing out. Pay very close attention to what we bringing out. You know, a lot of people like to say we chauvinists, or what's the word? Sexist.
Right.
Like we hate women.
Right.
We love women. You understand? And here's the thing: you got to love a woman to tell her the truth.
Right.
You understand? Read on.
An advocate for women's reproductive rights.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. All right, so read that again. Read it again from the top. Salaki.
It was 100 years ago on October the 16th, 1916, that Margaret Sanger opened the first birth control clinic in the United States.
So Margaret Sanger opened the first birth control clinic 100 years ago in the United States. That's who Margaret Sanger is. Read on.
An advocate for women's reproductive rights who was also a vocal eugenics enthusiast, Margaret Sanger leaves a complicated legacy.
So she was an advocate for women's reproductive rights. Pay close attention to that. She was an advocate for women's reproductive rights. And here's the trickery in that wordplay. See, Margaret Sanger believed that for a woman to get pregnant was oppression.
Good night.
That's what Margaret Sanger. She believed it to be oppression to bring forth a child. You understand? So, well, Salakia, that's how she taught it. What she put out was that it was oppression to bring forth a child. That's what she pushed for. That was her agenda, what she put out. But her true agenda was a whole lot darker than women's reproductive rights. You understand? With women's reproductive rights, this is basically what's the scripture when they say her words are smooth as honey.
Psalms 55:21.
Give me that. Pull that out. Psalms 55:21. Pull that up.
Come on, country.
Because she stages this whole abortion thing as women's reproductive rights. As women, we have the right. How many times you done heard these feminists out here say women have the right to do with their bodies as they please? Well, okay, I understand that. You understand? But what about the child that's in your stomach? What rights do they have?
Right.
You understand? You taking away their rights. You're taking away the rights of a child. You understand? Read on.
Okay.
Matter of fact, see, there was another time where people could be murdered and nobody cared about it. That was during slavery.
Right.
During the conquest of America. Native Americans was getting murdered. Nobody went to jail for that.
Right.
You understand? Nobody went to jail for Wounded Knee. If you never heard about Wounded Knee, look it up. Nobody went to jail for that. You understand? Nobody went to jail for the transatlantic slave trade. Nobody went to jail for Hernan Cortez when he went down into South America and killed almost 1 billion Hispanic people. He didn't go to jail for that. Nope, nobody went to jail for it. You understand? And guess what? Nobody goes to jail for the 450,000 black babies that get ripped apart piece by piece every year. You understand? Read on.
Okay, you want to read the scripture, sir?
Read that scripture.
The book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
Read it again.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
Said the words of his mouth were smoother than butter. Think about every politician. They get up on that stage and they like, the words they say captivate you. They get you thinking like, man, this man right. Guess what? It's no different than what Margaret Sanger was. Margaret Sanger was a politician.
Right.
You understand? 100 years ago, she was politicking. You understand? Going around to the KKK, politicking. She had a whole plan laid out. And guess what? Her plan was to go to women and put it in women's ear. Guess what? You have the right to do with your body as you please. You don't have to be under no man. You don't need no man. You know what I'm saying? You are a woman. You have the same rights as he got. You should have the same rights. You understand? Read on.
Count on gun.
Matter of fact, read again from the top.
The book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
And guess what? Everything Joe Biden then laid across the black people. You understand? He got on Charlemagne the God show and said, if you don't vote for Joe Biden, you ain't black.
Wow.
You understand? The words in his mouth was smoother than honey, man. Was it butter or honey?
Butter, sir.
Okay, so like it, smoother than butter. You understand? That devil got a slick tongue. You understand? And Margaret Sanger is no different. She was going around, said she was an advocate for women's reproductive rights. You understand? Women. Now here's the thing: women do have reproductive rights when it comes to choosing who they lay down with. You understand? No woman has the right to have her body taken from her. You understand? No woman has the right, and so like it. Every woman has the right to not be raped.
Right.
You understand? No woman deserves to be raped. No woman deserves to be assaulted in any kind of way. You understand? So she does automatically have reproductive rights. She has the right to choose to lay down with this man or not. You understand? That's the rights that you have. You have the rights to spread your legs or keep them closed. You understand? You have that right already. Before Margaret Sanger even came along, you had that right. You understand? But here she come talking about reproductive rights. You have the right to do with your body as you please. It's your body. Read on. Read it again from the top, Salaki.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
Go ahead.
But war was in his heart.
But what?
But war was in his heart.
But what?
But war was in his heart.
When what's the devil name? I keep forgetting these politicians' names. Joe Biden. When Joe Biden said, if you don't vote for Joe Biden, you ain't black. What was on his heart?
But war was in his heart.
Joe Biden got up on TV and said all these beautiful things to get the black vote. But war is in his heart. Donald Trump, man, I seen Donald Trump. Donald Trump started campaigning hard for black people. Got videos on YouTube of him holding the little black girl with the afro. You seen that? I didn't even know that happened. I didn't even know that was real. I was shocked by that. You understand? Donald Trump was calling all the Hispanics rapists and murderers just a year ago. You understand? Now he hugging and kissing black babies. Come on now. Go ahead.
I wonder who was the parents of that black baby.
Hey, you understand? Somebody who you know what I mean? I guess for lack of better words, been drinking the Kool-Aid.
Nice.
You understand? Who love America, who love our oppressor more than they love their own people. You understand? Because how can you support a system that locks up innocent children at the border?
Right.
How can you do that? You understand? How can you vote for either candidate when both of them is going? Listen, they legalizing all these drugs. You understand? They legalize drugs in Oregon. You understand? Somehow or another, that's going to lead to more black people going to jail. You understand? Because here's the deal. You understand? They already think we are the drug dealers, but they're more addicted to the drugs than anybody. You understand? Because, Salakia, a lot of drug dealers make their real money from white people.
Right.
You understand? And yet they're a lot, at least around here, you got some that might hustle in the hood, that sell crack or whatnot, but the ones who selling all that meth to white people, them the ones getting that money. The ones selling that cocaine to white people, them the ones getting that money. The heroin, them the ones that's getting that money. So if they decriminalize it for the user, they didn't decriminalize it for the seller. Because guess what? You get caught trafficking drugs in Oregon, you still doing Fed time.
Right.
Go ahead, Op.
So I was gonna say what you bring out is so heavy because I remember when I was in the world maybe like 4 years ago, it was a brother that stayed across the street from us, and he didn't sell heroin, he knew who to get it from.
Right.
And he always had a line of Edomites at his door, like just asking him to ride with him, to take them to go get it. Because nobody, the brother, whoever was selling it, wouldn't give it to the Edomites.
Right.
They would give it to him, so he was like the middleman. And I just remembered so many Edomites coming to his door, knocking on his door. I'm talking about Edomites was in nice cars. I don't know if he was with me that time when that Edomite passed out in that car, and he was there by 8 o'clock at night. And then when I went in the house and came back out, he was there in the morning till 11 o'clock in the morning, passed out from the heroin.
Good night.
In a nice new model Acura, like a 2016 Acura or something.
Good night. And Anderson, I remember Anderson has a mayor named Terrence Roberts. The year Terrence Roberts became the mayor, the day after the election, the old mayor was found passed out in the Taco Bell driveway, high outside his mind.
Oh, shit.
You understand? Because, see, here's the thing. They're the ones that's using them drugs.
Right.
They are the ones that are using heroin and cocaine. Like, think about it like this. During the crack epidemic, they was locking black people up for life for smoking crack and getting caught with it. You understand? They was giving people life sentences for crack cocaine. Fast forward to the 2000s, we have what's known as the opioid epidemic, where white people were going nuts on that heroin. You understand? white people are going nuts on crystal meth. And isn't it ironic that all them hard drugs that white people love, they just decriminalize it in Oregon? You understand? Because here's the thing. America was set up for white people.
Right.
The American government is for white people's benefits. You understand? But for us, it's all about putting us in prison or putting us 6 feet under the ground. You understand? Read that scripture again up.
The book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart.
So Margaret Sanger was an advocate for women's reproductive rights. You understand? As much of an advocate she was, and that you know, if you're a woman and you think all praise Margaret Sanger for fighting for women's rights, we're going to read on and show you that this scripture is 100% fact. Because because the words of her mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in her heart. And you want to know who she warred against? She warred against blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Read on. Read that. Let's go back to that article.
This is Time Magazine. You want to read it from the top? Sorry, just go back where we left off.
You can start it from the top. We didn't get that far.
Time Magazine. It was 100 years ago on October the 16th, 1916, that Margaret Sanger opened the first birth control clinic in the United States. As an advocate for women's reproductive rights, who was also a vocal eugenics enthusiast, Margaret Sanger leaves a complicated legacy and one that conservatives are periodically leveraged into sweeping attacks on the organizations she helped found, Planned Parenthood.
Now, everybody heard of Planned Parenthood. Everybody heard of that. Planned Parenthood, plan your parenthood.
Ooh-wee.
You understand? But listen, Planned Parenthood is one of the most bloodthirsty organizations on the globe. If you think the Nazis were murderers, they didn't murder nothing nowhere near to what Planned Parenthood has done. Planned Parenthood single-handedly is probably the second most murderous organization to ever exist in history. Second to the United States of America. You understand? Read on.
Last year, 25 House Republican campaigns to have a bust of the pioneering family planner removed from the Smithsonian National Portrait Gallery.
Hold on. Said last year? Read that again.
Last year, 25 House Republicans campaigned to have a bust of the pioneering family planner removed from the Smithsonian's National Portrait Gallery.
So this article was written in 2016. So we're talking 2015. So we're talking 100 years. For 100 years, there was a bust. You know what a bust is? A bust is like a statue from the shoulders up. You understand? It's not a full body statue, but it's like a statue that's from the shoulder up. From the shoulders up. I know you've seen them like they. I can't even. Of course, we don't have none in the school, but a statue made from the shoulders up is a bust. You understand? If you ever go to the comic book store and you'll see like a bust of Iron Man or Superman or something like that. You understand? It's like a statue or figurine made from the shoulders up. So this thing was sitting in the Smithsonian for all these years. This woman's bust was sitting in the Smithsonian. And it wasn't until 2015 that people decided, you know what, it ain't a good idea that we have this this lady up here like that. You understand? Read on.
Where it has been included in an exhibit featuring American civil rights leaders.
Hold on, read that again.
Where it has been included.
Where it has been included. So they had this woman's statue included with statues of civil rights leaders. Pay attention to that. That's real important. Because the civil rights leaders, a lot of people like to look up to Martin Luther King and Jesse Jackson and all these civil rights leaders. Man, listen. They was in bed with this murderous beast. Martin Luther King got the Margaret Sanger Award. You understand? Our civil rights leaders are the reason why 26 million black babies have been aborted in the United States. Read on.
Con, where it has been included in an exhibit featuring American civil rights. Leaders called the struggle for justice, with Ted Cruz's office issuing a press release explaining that she didn't belong there for a number of reasons.
So, Ted Cruz is, stepping up saying, that Margaret Sanger don't belong, you understand, up there with the civil rights leaders. Because these are perceived, these black leaders are perceived as people who were fighting for black lives. And and Ted Cruz even knows that Margaret Sanger was against black lives. Read on.
That she didn't belong there for a number of reasons, the most damning of which is that a part of her inhumane life's work, she advocated for extermination of African Americans.
Read that again.
She advocated for the extermination of African Americans.
Read it again.
She advocated for the extermination of African Americans.
Now go back to that scripture. Because we just showed you Margaret Sanger was pretty much the one who started the feminist movement. She the one who started that. You understand? She the one fighting for women's reproductive rights. You understand? But what does the scripture say? See, this is why in the ISUPK we lean towards the Bible for our wisdom. We don't turn on CNN and listen to some stupid politician.
Right.
You understand? We don't follow no Christian pastor. We go to the Bible, man. You understand? Read what the Bible says.
The book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
Guess what? Margaret Sanger's words were smoother than butter. She all about women's reproductive rights. You understand? But what?
But war.
But what?
But war.
But what?
But war.
But love.
But war.
But hugs and kisses.
But war.
But candy canes and sugar plums.
But war.
But war was in her heart, man. War was in her heart. The article said that her life's work was for the extermination of African Americans. Look up the definition of exterminate. Look up the definition of exterminate. And read that when you got it.
I got it out of one.
Go ahead.
The definition of extermination: to destroy completely.
To do what?
To destroy completely.
To do what?
To destroy completely.
To exterminate means to destroy completely. That was Margaret Sanger's life work, to destroy black people completely. You understand? To exterminate us. The same way you got roaches in your house, you call the exterminator to do what? To exterminate the roses. Salaki, the roaches, not roses. You understand? Margaret Sanger's life work was to exterminate African Americans.
Right.
You understand? So here's the deal. Her words were smoother than butter. She got so many women thinking, oh, I got the right to do what I choose to do with my baby. Meanwhile, you listening to this devil who her whole objective is the genocide of black people. That's why she tricked black people into thinking that they have the right to kill their babies. You understand? Read on in that article. We ended at the extermination of African Americans.
It is not the first time Sanger has faced this accusation.
Good night. This ain't even the first time somebody called her out about it. You understand? This ain't the first time. But yet, she still had that statue sitting right beside Martin Luther King in the Smithsonian.
God damn.
Read on.
During the past primary season, Ben Carson proclaimed that Sanger believed that people like me should be eliminated.
Ben Carson, of course, was a black man. Ben Carson even knew. Margaret Sanger believed that people like Ben Carson should be eliminated. So you got black women listening to Margaret Sanger when Margaret Sanger believed that black women should be eliminated. Black women following the feminist movement, Hispanic women following the feminist movement, when the feminist movement is designed to eliminate you. That's no different than a drug dealer who starts selling drug in the drug game when the drug game is designed to eliminate you.
Right.
Read on.
Khan. Later clarified per politic fact that he was talking about the black race.
And Ben Carson clarified that Margaret Sanger, and then when he said people like me, he talking about the black race. At least Ben Carson got sense enough to identify as black. You know, some people like OJ. When OJ Simpson said, I'm not black, I'm OJ. He actually said that. You understand? Go ahead. Well, there's a lot of black people who really think like that. Who think I'm not black, I'm OJ.
Good.
Go ahead. You wanted to say something?
I'm like, this nigga classified himself as a can of Tropicana guy. Right?
Hey, as orange juice. You understand? It's the juice. You understand? Read on in that article.
I kind of kind, sir. And in 2011, Herman Cain alleged that Sanger's original goal for Planned Parenthood was to help kill black babies before they came into the world.
And that ain't just black babies, because it's 12 tribes.
Right.
It's Hispanic women, Hispanic babies, Native Indian babies, and black babies, man. That's what the feminist movement is all about. It's about the genocide of black people. And guess what? Your Christian pastor is down with it. You understand? Who you think is telling a lot of sisters to go out and have an abortion? And here's the part that blow my mind out. You understand? It's more women who go, most women who have abortions go to church.
Right.
You understand? And here's the thing, a lot of women who don't go to church, who don't follow some half homosexual Christian pastor, they have their children. And they tough through whatever it is that they need to tough through to be able to raise their children. You understand? They suffer through whatever they need to suffer to be able to take care of their child, man. Because they not selfish, lustful pigs like what the Christian church teach you to be. Go ahead, Up.
So I'm just going off of personal experience. When I was young, me and the sister were pretty much married, but we was at a young age. Like, we was like 15. Mm-hmm. And during us being together, we had conspired a child. Mm-hmm. Both of her parents were diehard Christians. Mm-hmm. Every Sunday, every Wednesday, every Tuesday, every Saturday, like in the church heavily. But when they found out she got pregnant, they talked her into having an abortion. Yeah. Which really made her worse in all of it. When she had that abortion, she dealt with a lot of psychological issues, and it destroyed her. Like it destroyed the sister.
Man, listen, there was a sister that I used to slave with. I know I done told the brothers about it, but the sister got pregnant by a down low brother.
Good night.
You understand? And the sister decided, you know, when her man took a split, you know, word got out that she was gonna have an abortion. So I pulled the sister aside and was like, you know, sis, I understand, you know, you ain't gotta tell me everything, but you know, I just want to let you know that, you know, I understand you may not want to keep the child, but just know that you don't have to have an abortion just because you don't want the child.
Right.
You know what I mean? I know it's not too many avenues for a woman in your position, but I'm just letting you know that that child has a home with me or one of my brothers.
Right.
You understand? You don't have to kill that child. You understand? You know, one of us will take that child. And she was, you know, she got all arrogant like every Christian do. Oh, I know you, but I gotta do this for me. All right, ain't no sweat.
Right.
Couple years later, about a year later after she had that abortion, she attempted suicide in the bathroom at the slavery.
God damn.
You understand? She attempted suicide. And here's the thing, that when a woman has an abortion, most women who have an abortion never get past it.
Right.
They never get over it. You understand? They'll live 50 years and still think about that innocent baby that they murdered. You understand? Especially if they actually see the baby when it comes out. They are haunted with that for the rest of their life. That's just like a man who committed murder.
Right. He
haunted by them visions of that dead body for the rest of his life. You understand? Because that's what you did. You committed murder. You understand? And guess what? The Christian are all about God, all about love, but they support murder of the innocent. You understand? They support the murder of the innocent. Now, how can you vote for something like that? How can you vote? How can you go to church and support someone who supports the murder of the innocent? You understand? Who actually advises people to murder the innocent. But then look at the ISUPK and we just thugs and criminals. You understand? We the scum of the earth. You understand? Because we tell black and Hispanic women not to kill their babies. We the enemy. But yet, it's more babies than a little bit getting killed in the Christian church. You understand? Let's go back to that article.
Much of the controversy stems from a 1939 letter in which Sanger outlined her plan to reach out to the black leaders.
Whoa. She did what?
In her letter in which Sanger outlined her plan to reach out to the black leaders.
Hold on. So this lady, who is all about the extermination of the black race, did what?
Reached out to black leaders.
Don't that remind you of somebody?
Oui.
Don't that remind you of Joe Biden? When he reached out to Charlamagne the God and Cardi B? When Donald Trump reached out to Ice Cube and Lil Wayne? Read on.
Specifically, ministers.
Whoa. Margaret, it's getting thick. Margaret Sanger reached out to the ministers. You understand? Everybody love to look at us like the bad guy. You need to start holding these ministers accountable.
Right.
You understand? That's what you should do. If you really care about black lives, if you really out here screaming Black Lives Matter, what about these black lives? What about the innocent black lives that's getting killed by Planned Parenthood? What about them? You understand? What about them? You understand? What about the ones who sold, who took the bag? Read on.
To help dispel community suspicions about the family planning clinics she was opening in the South.
So check this out. So she reached out to black leaders. So in today's time, she'd have reached out to Lil Wayne,
Right.
Ice Cube, Cardi B, Charlamagne the God, The Breakfast Club. You understand? She'll reach out to them. And then not only them, TD Jakes,
Ooh wee.
Creflo Dollar. You understand? Reach out to them to do what? To dispel the suspicions within the black community. Because see, here's the thing, black people wasn't stupid. We knew what was going on. We knew that they was murdering babies. And we knew that they only setting up these abortion clinics to kill us off. You understand? How many times you done heard black people in the hood say some things about how they trying to kill off black people? Ain't got not one source they can quote, but everybody knows it's true. You understand? How many times you done heard that, Abon?
Tons of times.
Tons of times. Because black people ain't stupid. You understand? But the reason why Margaret Sanger's reached out to these people, because remember I told you, Margaret Sanger was a politician. No different than Joe Biden, no different than Donald Trump.
Right.
And just like Joe Biden and Donald Trump, just like Margaret Sanger, the words of their mouth is smoother than butter. But war is in their heart, man. They don't deserve your vote. Like Commander Johanna said, you care more about, you understand, this election than you care about what the Most High got going on. You understand? We care more about this election. We care more about our vote mattering. You understand? And we too blind to see that all these politicians, all these people ain't doing nothing. They all doing the same thing. They all got the same objective. You understand? And that is to destroy blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand? I know that some of us will come into America, come up in America and get a decent job, make decent money. You understand? Might even blow up and be on TV and, get a couple endorsement checks. You understand? Might make it to the NBA. You understand? Might make it to the NFL. Now we getting a lot more money than what we was making working at Burger King back in the hood. You know what I mean? But we might live a little bit better lives, so we might think, America really do care about black people. America really do care about, we open to all these other little things. But then we turn on the news and we still see white cops murdering black people and not even spending a day in jail. You understand? I have never in my life seen a situation where a black man shot somebody, the cops knew who shot the person, knew where he was at, and didn't go get him.
Right.
I ain't never seen it. You understand? I've never seen that. Never seen it. You know what I'm saying? If you have, let me know. You understand? Read on up.
The article reads, "We do not want word to go out that we want to exterminate the Negro population."
Read that again.
We do not want the word to go out that we want to exterminate the Negro population.
Read it again.
We do not want the word to go out that we want to exterminate the Negro population.
Read it again.
We do not want word to go out that we want to exterminate the Negro population.
That's a quote by Margaret Sanger.
God damn, it's like
That's a quote by Margaret Sanger, the so-called creator of the feminist movement. So guess what? If you are a feminist, if you feel like you don't need a man, if you feel like you have the right to do with your body as you please, meaning kill babies, meaning have an abortion. If you is an advocate for abortion, it's some women that refuse to hear that they should not have an abortion. You ever came across a woman like that?
It's like they say they don't want to have an abortion.
They will fight you over their right to have an abortion.
Oh, come.
There's some women out here that will fight you for their right to kill their babies. You understand? Go ahead.
So like I was gonna say, I just want to give a big ups to Commander General Yohana because learning this truth, I know I was able to argue down a couple sisters who wanted to have some abortions for their baby. Like they were feminists and they didn't know it until we, learning what I learned in this truth, were able to argue these sisters down and make them realize that you're going to murder your baby. And just the word of murder, saying like you're going to murder your baby, sister was like, I ain't about to murder my baby. And just keep stressing it and keep pushing it in their head. These sisters didn't murder their children.
Right.
These sisters had more children.
Yeah. And that's the thing, man. Here's the whole thing, man. These politicians, all of them have a motive. And all of their motive is the same as Martin Sanger's.
Right.
You understand? Because that's the program. You never heard the term, you got to get with the program? You ever heard that term? Well, guess what? If you're going to fit in America, if you're going to fit in America, you got to get with the program. And you know what the program is? The extermination of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You got to get with the program to fit in America. You ever notice, here's what I've noticed, right? With a lot of brothers who specifically chase white women. You ever come across a brother who just, oh, I don't date no black women. I only date white women. You ever came across a brother like that?
Sorry.
Now here's the thing, right? Brother, people who do things like that, right? They have a hatred for black women.
Right.
You understand? They have a hatred for themselves. Because here's the problem. A white woman, she ain't about to, she can't be with a man that thinks a black woman is more beautiful than a white woman.
Right.
You understand? She can't do that. You understand? So the white woman, she gonna be with you if you the type of man that looks down upon the black woman, that looks at the white woman like she better than the black woman. You understand? Because that's what white women want to feel. They want to feel like they better than the black woman. You understand? That's what they want to feel like. That's why they act black, get the braids in their hair, and try to walk with their backbone sticking out. You understand? That's why they do it, because they want to feel like they are more desired than the black woman. You understand? So, here's the thing. In order to be with a white woman, you got to do what? You got to get with the program. You understand? You got to hate your own people. You got to hate black culture. You got to hate Hispanic culture. You got to hate Hispanic people. You got to have a hatred for it. Why? Because she does.
Right.
She has a hatred for it. You understand? In order to be a politician, guess what? You got to have a hatred for black people. You want to know why? Because you have a love for black people. Ain't nobody going to vote for you.
Right.
Because if it was all about love, Commander General Yohana would be the president of the universe.
Right.
You understand? But politics ain't designed to love black people or Hispanic people or Native Indian people, man. It ain't designed for that. It's designed for the extermination of the black race.
Right.
Because think about it, Margaret Sanger didn't say, I don't want the word to get out. Read it again. Read that quote again.
We.
Who?
We.
I.
We.
Me.
We.
She.
We.
We. Meaning her and other people. Not Not just her. Her and everybody else in her circle of power. Read on.
Do not want the word to go out that we want to exterminate.
That we what?
Want to exterminate.
That we're trying to.
We want to exterminate.
That we're trying to prevent.
That we want to exterminate.
That we don't want.
That we want to exterminate.
These people want to exterminate. Go ahead.
The Negro population.
The Negro population. Which includes Hispanics and Native Indians.
Right.
You understand? And all you Hispanics who think you ain't niggas, you better wake up.
Right.
You understand? Read on.
Kanamakan. And the minister is the man who can straighten out the idea.
Read that again.
And the minister.
And the who?
And the minister.
And the who?
And the minister.
And the policeman.
And the minister.
And the judge.
And the minister.
And the prosecutor.
And the minister.
And the minister. Your Christian pastor.
Right.
Your friendly neighborhood child molester. You understand? He gonna do what?
Is the man who can straighten out the idea. If it ever occurs to any of their more rebellious members.
Hold on. He said, and the minister will help straighten out the idea in case any of the more rebellious niggas, meaning us,
right.
and the ISUPK, read on.
Kind of what kind. She wrote, it was a Washington Post called it an entire fully written sentence, but one that in context describes the sort of proposition allegation she feared, not her actual mission.
Rebellious meaning the ones who not accepting that the killing of our children.
Right.
Rebellious meaning the ones who ain't with that. You understand? Rebellious meaning the ones who oppose abortion. The minister is the one that she got, that she pulled into Planned Parenthood to straighten it out, to convince you that it's okay, that it's good. You understand? Read on.
Kind of what kind. The irony is that it has been used to propagate those very allegations. Cruz's letter to the director of the National Portrait Gallery, for example, quotes only the first half of the sentence. Sanger's stated mission was to empower women to make their own reproductive choices.
Yeah, if you read on, exactly. It's going to go off to say she was all about reproductive. But come on now, how you going to sit there and say, well, we don't want everybody to figure out we're trying to exterminate black people. You know what I'm saying? She just told you that she don't want the word to get out, that she's trying to exterminate black people. So of course she gonna later on speak about women's reproductive rights. Because why? Go back to that scripture.
Kind of what kind? We do not want.
No, the scripture.
The book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 21. The words of her mouth were smoother than butter.
The words of their mouth. The words of Margaret Sanger's mouth was smoother than butter. She got everybody fooled thinking, oh, it's all about women's reproductive rights. That's what it's about. It's about the women's reproductive rights. But what?
But war was in his heart.
But extermination of the black race was in her heart.
Right.
You understand? The scriptures say out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. You understand? And guess what? She spoke that out of her mouth because that is the abundance of her heart. The extermination of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. I want you to drop that article out.
Kind of slice if I can.
Go ahead.
I have another article with a Christian pastor who supports it with the abortion clinic.
Bring it up. Well, what's it? Well, do we got time to bring that up?
It's 8:36, sir.
Go ahead.
The article reads, mega church pastor and Democratic Senate candidate says abortion is consistent with Christianity.
Oh my God. If that don't tell you Christianity is the house of Satan, I don't know what is. Go ahead.
A mega church pastor in Georgia commented last week that he believes legalized abortion is consistent with Christianity.
He said it is. Legalized abortion is absolutely consistent with Christianity. Because Christianity is the religion of white supremacy.
Right.
You understand? White supremacy is about the extermination of the black race.
Right.
And the Hispanic race and the Native Indian race. Read on.
Raphael Warnock, who pastors the 6,000-member Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta, told WGAU's Tim Bryant that he believes unequivocally in the right to abortion. Warnock is one of 3 Democrats seeking the Georgia Senate seat currently occupied by Republican Kelly Loeffler in November 3rd special election. He says, "I've been focused on women's health, women's choice, reproductive justice," Warnock said. That is consistent with my view as a Christian minister. I will fight for it. When Bryant asked the minister if he thought millions of abortions committed since Roe versus Wade were consistent with God's view on human life, the Planned Parenthood endorsed Warnock remained unflinching. He said, "I think that human agency and freedom is consistent with my view as a minister," he said. Super Bowl winning coach and NFL Hall of Famer Tony Dungy tweeted about Warnock saying in the minister's justifying abortion must be using a different foundation for truth than the Bible. And he said, Tony Dungy said, "When you say a minister, does that mean the representative of the church? I'd like to know what book the candidate uses as the foundation for truth in their guideline principles. It couldn't be the Bible." Warnock also raised eyebrows at the funeral of civil rights legend John Lewis when he paraphrased the famous Messianic prophecy of Isaiah 53 of references Lewis instead of Jesus. So that was it, sir.
Wow. That boy going ham.
Right.
He going nuts. That man is crazy. You understand? But here's the problem. Here's the thing, right? If you read that article and you had no idea about what I just brought out about Margaret Sanger, then you wouldn't even know what was going on.
Right.
You understand? You'll think that's just his personal opinion. But little do you know that white supremacists are the reason why he said that.
Right.
Because Margaret Sanger said that the minister is the one who's going to straighten all that out.
Good night.
And here we got a minister trying to straighten all that abortion stuff out. Like, oh, it's definitely 1,000% lined up with Christianity. You understand? And he right. It do line up with Christianity. But here's the news flash. Christianity ain't in the Bible. Christianity goes against the Bible. You understand? Christ was not a Christian. The Most High was not a Christian. None of the prophets or the disciples was Christians. Nobody. You understand? Margaret Sanger said out her own mouth that the minister, we don't want the word to get out that we want to exterminate the black race. And the minister the one who's going to straighten that out. You understand? I want you to, we're going I want to show you something, right? See, what America is doing when it comes to abortion, the genocide of black people, is the same thing, is the same exact thing that they did to us in ancient Egypt. You understand? I want you to go in the Bible for me, all right?
Come on, sir.
I want you to go to Exodus chapter 1, verse 15. Bible shop.
Come on.
Go to Exodus chapter 1, verse 15. Go ahead and read it when you got it out.
The book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 15. And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives.
So the king of Egypt spake, you understand, or Pharaoh, for lack of better words, you understand, he gave an order to the midwives, to the Hebrew midwives. Read on.
Come. Of which the name of the one was Sephora, and the name of the other Puah.
Go ahead.
And he said, when ye do the office of the midwife to the Hebrew women, and see them upon the stools, it be a son, then ye shall kill him.
You shall what?
That ye shall kill him.
Read it again from the top, from verse 15.
And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of the one was Shapharah, and the name of the other Puah. And he said, when ye do the office of a midwife.
So he says, when you do the office of a midwife. You understand? Meaning that when he says when you do the office of a midwife, meaning when you are in the act of helping a woman deliver a child. You understand? Because you're a midwife, but you know, you can be at home on the toilet. That ain't doing the office of. Doing the office of means you are currently in the act of doing what you're here to do. You understand? When you are in the office of bringing forth that child, do what?
And see them upon the stools, it be a son.
If it be a son, read on.
Then ye shall kill him.
You shall do what?
Then ye shall kill him.
You shall abort him.
Then ye shall kill him.
You shall plan your parenthood.
Then ye shall kill him.
You understand that this was going on in ancient Egypt. It's always been the program of the people who oppress us. The same thing we go through in America, guess what? We went through in the book of Exodus.
Right.
Because we the same people of the Bible. We are the people that were slaves in Egypt. We were slaves in America. Matter of fact, do we got that book, The Black Image in the White Mind, up here?
Let me see, can I get it on the phone, sir?
You a bad man, Give me you know what I want. You know exactly what I want, Abon.
Okay.
You understand? We are the same people who were slaves in ancient Egypt. And just like how they trying to kill our babies now, they not trying, they doing it. By the tune of 450,000 a year. Just like they killing our babies right now, they was killing our babies in ancient Egypt. You understand? Our oppressors seek the genocide of the black America. They seek the genocide. Joe Biden wants to exterminate the black race. Donald Trump wants to exterminate the black race. Kamala Harris wants to exterminate the black race. Barack Obama wants to exterminate the black race. Lil Wayne wants to exterminate the black race. Because guess what? Margaret Sanger said she was going to go to black leaders too. And whether we like it or not, man, these rappers is leading people. You understand? Because people look up to them. These politicians ain't stupid. They got us figured out. They following the same program. They doing exactly what Margaret Sanger laid down 100 years ago. You got it up. I want to skip to the part about the same servile position. I just want that part. So I'm gonna give you a quick rundown. You got the book?
Not on me, sir.
We need to start snapping pictures of these things. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Bear with me 1 second. I think I might have found it. Bear with us 1 second, y'all. Here we go. I got it. You got the PDF?
Come, sir.
Oh, you do got it.
Come. Oh, no, I don't have that PDF article, sir, but I do have PDF on my phone, sir.
I don't think this is the book.
Good night.
The Black Image.
They don't raise the price up on this book, I don't want.
How much is the book?
It's $262 now.
Okay.
I paid
So
that.
check this out. This is book. The brother just brought this out. We're gonna end the class on that. Matter of fact, we're gonna do a part 2 to this class next week. And next week we're gonna bring this out. But this book is called The Black Image in the White Mind. Or is it The Black Image in the Mind of Whites or Black Image in the White Mind?
It's the Black Image in the White Mind.
Okay. The Black Image in the White Mind. I remember buying the book for $5
Right.
on Amazon in perfect condition. I still got a copy. Then you got a copy too, don't you? So I paid $5 for that book. How much is the book now?
$262.
$262. You understand? These, like, our oppressor ain't trying to get this knowledge out, who black people really are. You understand? That's why it's important for you to get up in our classes, man. It's important for you to get in our classes because they are actively trying to hide this information. Think about it, man. You know, they already got the quote, you want to hide something from a nigga, put it in a book. Well, guess what? When niggas start picking up books, then what you do? Raise the price. You understand? $260 for that book now. When I paid $5 for it 5 years ago. Was it 5 years ago? How long ago was it?
It was 5 years ago.
About 5 years ago, we bought that book for $5. I might not even have paid that much for it. Now it's $260. It's a damn shame. But anyway, in this book, matter of fact, I'm gonna save that for next week. The Black Image in the White Mind. If you don't have the book, you understand? If you can find a good deal on it, get it. If you can get it from the library, go ahead and get it and check it out. You understand? It's a heavy book if you want to know if black people really come from Africa. Because that one answers that question. You understand? And not in a way to where, you understand, it seemed like some mumbo jumbo. You understand? It answers it in a way to where they show you anthropologically that black people ain't from Africa. That black people ain't Egyptians. You understand? And in fact, it breaks it down to show you that we were in fact the people that were slaves in ancient Egypt, just like the people written of in the book of Exodus, the 12 tribes of Israel. And with that, I'm going to check, see if we got any questions. We're going to go ahead and end the class. If we got any questions, if we can type it into the chat. Only chat I can see is YouTube. So if you got any questions, go ahead and type them into YouTube. You understand? We'll try to answer it real quick before we get out of here. If you got any questions, go ahead and lay it on me. See any questions on Facebook? Make sure you like, subscribe to the channel. Like all my videos, man. Like every single one of them. Just like it. It's free. It's free to like, free to subscribe, man. It helps us to be able to better get our classes out there. It helps us to be able to better reach out to the people, man. This is information that's way more important than what you seeing going on with this election, man. You understand? Black Hispanics and Native Indians need to know the information that we're bringing out, because that's why we're here. We don't get paid for this. We do this because we love our people.
Right.
You understand? We do this because we love Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand? But you know, we too busy loving these pastors that don't want nothing but to steal our money and molest our children and sleep with our wives and rob the whole community blind. You understand? While half of us go to prison and the other half of us get killed before we turn 25. And they just turn a blind eye, man. You understand? So like the channel, then like the video. Even if you don't even watch the video, just like it. Just like it, man. You understand? Because you helping us to get this out there, man. You're doing a tremendous work just liking the video. You understand? Just subscribing to the channel. You're doing a tremendous work, man. You don't necessarily have to come in here and get it all black, but you can like the video, help the algorithm so that other people can be able to find the video. You know, it might not be you might not be the one that the Lord is calling into the truth, but you sharing the video could end up finding the brother that or the sister that the Lord is calling into the truth.
Right.
You understand? So if you support what we doing, make sure you like the video, man. Like the video. It don't take but a split second. It don't even show up on your timeline. You understand? Ain't nobody, you know, if you scared of people finding out that you liking UPK videos, don't worry about it. Just like the video. You understand? Or dislike it, hell. Right. You understand? Whatever you feel like you need to do it. You understand? But subscribe to the channel. Since you don't have any questions, all right. We got anything on Facebook?
Nah, sir.
All right. With that, we're gonna have to hand the class over to Precinct Officer Monica Rock.
ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sisters. When a new brother and sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves to the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers 18 through 21. Malachi chapter 3 verse 8 through 10 means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'asharah. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering. For a priest, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations, which will be the Feast of Dedication, which is Hanukkah, the 25th day of the 9th month by the spaces of 8 days. It'll be Wednesday, December the 9th, 2020 for 8 days. You can read about this in 1 Maccabees chapter 4, verse 52 through 61. Remind Akim and Akwaf to check the bulletin board if in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, shalom.